Vincent, you are the chair of Leaseurope's Automotive Steering Group. Could you tell us how the car lease sector could help EU member states reduce polluting emissions of the vehicle fleet?
Well, reducing polluting emissions is a challenge that the whole automotive world is facing, starting with the manufacturers, of course. Now, the leasing has a contribution to bring. Leased fleets are clearly younger than the overall average cars circulating in Europe. The average age of these fleets is just 8.2 years, which covers in fact some very extensive durations. Well, a leased fleet is generally not more than 4, maximum 5 years, and this mere rejuvenation of the existing fleets across Europe are accelerating the passage to the next Euro norms. From one Euro norm to the next one, the progress in terms of emissions, including NOx emissions but also particles, those really damaging the human body, is extreme. It is really big steps, and the fact that we finance these fleets and we make a quicker cycle of renovation possible is a basic factor of acceleration of these progresses. Now, there is another aspect, which is what cars are we financing and leasing? And we are financing, of course, a lot of internal combustion engines. It is the vast majority today, past the totality. However, we are also looking at the new technologies, including hybrids, gas, but also electric cars. These cars are innovative. They're also expensive. They are complex to maintain. Having them in leasing enables to finance these heavy capital expenditures over a period of time. These cars are also, speaking about the electrics, extremely cheap to maintain, or so we expect them to be, so that we compensate the heavy capital cost with the lesser, smaller maintenance cost. And this can be done in an integrated leasing, not in a self-funding solution.
Could you also tell us in what way do you see the car lease sector contribute to new mobility concepts in Europe?
Well, new mobility means looking for the most rational, the most adequate way to keep people moving, individuals or employees of a company. And this requires, for a rational decision, comprehensive recognition of the cost, namely what we call the total cost of ownership, where all the costs, hidden and visible, are included, including taxes, consumption, and all indirect costs. And it is what leads you to choosing one model rather than another, based on these informations, but also maybe to mitigate the usage of cars. Today, of course, most fleets, most professional fleets at least, are allocated on an individual basis. You have your car for the full year for any usage. It may well happen that more and more companies will consider varying the car according to the mission, including even the personal use that may require a different car still. And this may far more easily happen in leasing than in credit, or when the company owns its own cars, because then the flexibility is not given. Having a pool of shared cars is possible and hasn't necessarily to be perceived as a negative reduction of social advantages by the staff. It may even be an added service, completing the normally allocated car with a special car to be used for only urban transports or maybe long distance trips. And this can be included in a full service leasing contract. So these are trends that we will see developing over the next year, at least we expect it, and leasing will be the most adequate vehicle for these new modalities.